Channel 3 Eyewitness. Channel 3 Eyewitness News, live at 5:30. Coverage you can count on in HD.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. The clock is ticking for early voters. It's the final chance to vote before November 8th.
Still have a little over an hour left. Early polling locations are open until 7 here in Chattanooga. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pham tells us why thousands took advantage of early voting and what you need to know if you want to make it out to vote today.
It was a busy day for officials at the Election Commission. Many people stood in long lines to cast their ballot. Voters say it's worth it to avoid the large crowds come November 8th.
It allows us to get it kind of out of the way, I guess. I mean, if you know you're going to vote.
Convenience is what election officials say it's all about. This year, more than 60,000 Hamilton County residents have already dropped off their ballot during early voting.
I felt secure in my vote, and I don't think anything went wrong.
Several voting security measures are in place at the polls in Hamilton County. 900 poll workers are trained in election law, procedures, and equipment to make sure the process runs smoothly.
We are one of the only counties in the state that use an independent auditing firm to come in and audit our equipment prior to an election.
After early voting ends, no one will know the results until polls close election night on Tuesday.
That data is loaded from memory cards into our server, which is never connected to any network at all.
The Election Commission takes steps to keep early votes secured. Whether you vote during early voting or on election day, voters say making your voice heard is what counts.
I think that there are a lot of countries around the world who don't have the opportunity to vote, and especially as a young person, I'd like to see that my voice is heard.
It's important to remember that during the election, you must go to your designated polling site. Only during early voting can you go to one of the 4 sites in the county. We've posted their information on our website, WRCBTV.com. Reporting in Hamilton County, Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
A little important information for you. Of those early voting locations in Hamilton County, all close at 6 except for the Election Commission, which closes at 7. There's quite a crowd out there right now. We'll have more on that later. So far across the state today, more than 2,000 people have cast their ballots. 1.5 million voters so far have taken advantage of early voting, beating out early turnout for the 2012 presidential election. 5 days in the race for the White House, and it's focused on a handful of states now, like Florida, North Carolina, where the contest is thought to be so close, Democrats warn intimidation of minority voters could affect who wins.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, which monitors white supremacist groups, and the Justice Department in Washington say they are concerned because race, they say, has infected this contest in places where just a few votes could decide the outcome. NBC's Steve Handelsman has our team coverage on Decision 2016.
Florida, Florida, Florida. Donald Trump went to Jacksonville, now tied in the polls in this battleground state.
Hillary Clinton has engaged in a massive, far-reaching criminal conduct and equally far-reaching cover-up.
In Miami, President Obama warned if Clinton turnout is weak, Trump wins.
Don't boo! Don't boo! Come on, you guys know that. He can't hear you boo, but he can hear you vote.
In early voting in Florida and in North Carolina, where Trump and Clinton are also tied in the polls, African American turnout is down. Worry about voter intimidation is up. Trump is warning the vote will be rigged. Former Klan leader David Duke, now a Trump backer, and pro-police extremists who showed up armed in Ferguson are urging monitors to show up Tuesday at balloting sites. And the 2013 Supreme Court decision means fewer federal election monitors in a close contest.
Altogether, it creates a situation where it could tip the election one way or the other.
Melania Trump came out to support her husband in Pennsylvania, but her warnings seemed aimed in part at him.
We have to find a better way to talk to each other, to disagree with each other, to respect each other.
Hillary Clinton went to North Carolina. It's an all-hands-on-deck fight in a dozen states. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Washington.
In Washington, D.C. today, the U.S. Justice Department announced election monitors will be sent to 4 North Carolina counties, including one that's being sued for allegedly removing thousands of names from voter rolls.
Here in the Tennessee Valley, crews are monitoring the outbreak of fires.
Especially as high winds are expected overnight. Storm Alert meteorologist Nick Austin has more on what firefighters may have to face. Nick.
Well, besides increasing winds and also a shift in the wind direction, the ground is still very dry. The exceptional drought has been expanding into other parts of the Tennessee Valley, as well as here across North Georgia, where we are right now. Now, for more than a month, the Georgia Forestry Commission has been trying to get 3 major wildfires under control. These fires are in Dade County, the Caddo Wilderness, and also on Rocky Face. Another fire started just earlier today in Murray County off Hightower Loop. And we now know from the Georgia Forestry Commission that that's about a 30-acre fire. They just got up there a little while ago and are starting to contain that particular blaze. And the shifting and stronger winds, it makes it more difficult to fight these fires. They can reignite and spread, bringing crews kind of back to square one. And with these kinds of changes in the weather, Ranger Pat Stockett says they'll be ready to work extra hours if needed. And Stockett also urges everyone to make sure to be careful, just use common sense out there. There are burn bans and also campfire bans in effect across North Georgia. So she urges everyone to make sure to obey those bans. This will help keep new fires from starting. And also, if you see a smoke plume that may be coming from a wildfire or a brush fire, report it, call 911. Here in northern Walker County, Nick Austin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Nick, thank you very much. A woman was injured in an early morning industrial accident at Lexmark Carpet Company. That's on Craft Drive in Dalton. Details are limited, but officials with Dalton Fire and Police tell Channel 3 the female was trapped in a piece of machinery. We don't know her condition this evening, but we will update this story when information becomes available.
A Tennessee Valley man is honored for 50 years of safe flying and saving lives. Members of Life Force, the National Guard, and the FAA honored pilot Chuck Neighbors. Neighbors' first solo flight was in 1961. He worked as a Tennessee Army National Guardsman for nearly 40 years. After retiring in '99, Neighbors flew for air medical programs, including Life Force, UT Medical Center's Life Star program, until his retirement this year.
Coming up on Live at 5:30, a peek at the toy that's said to become the holiday hit this season.
Plus, Uber has revamped its ride-hailing app. We'll tell you about some of the new features.
It looks like any of this rain that falls is going to be minuscule. It's hardly going to be anything, but the winds are definitely going to pick up for tomorrow. We'll tell you about that, and we'll take a peek into the weekend on my 7-day forecast.
Channel 3 Eyewitness Traffic is brought to you by
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing.
Channel 3 Eyewitness Traffic is brought to you by CHM Memorial. CHM Memorial's Buzz Stand-For Lung Center provides the most advanced treatments for lung-related diseases. Call 423-495-LUNG or visit mylungcare.org.
Hope you're having a great Thursday. A couple accidents to watch out for. Chattanooga Police working 1 East 34th at 6. Also an accident Rossville Boulevard there around East 28. Heavy traffic, still might find that if your commute takes you I-24 eastbound. A view of traffic there at Germantown. Eastbound lanes 24 from downtown to 75. Right now, TDOT estimating about a 16 to 18-minute commute time. From the US 101 Information Center, it's Mo with your Eyewitness News traffic.
Well, this weather pattern really hasn't shifted that much. The jet stream's still in a warm pattern for the southeast, and that's the way it's going to remain. Although we are going to cool down a little bit, it's still going to be above normal. Looking at East Fenton Elementary School, looking at the clouds, towards the east, there are some clouds still out through that area, and a little bit of smoke too, unfortunately. There are some sprinkles moving through Nashville. It's questionable whether any of that is hitting the ground from Cookeville to Crossville. They may get a sprinkle, but that's about it. Most of the rain is to the north, up into Kentucky, moving into West Virginia too. That's where the heaviest stuff is right now. But we do have some clouds that are moving our way, and they continue pushing down to the south and east. They'll move in tonight, and then they'll leave tomorrow, and the sun will come back, and this dry pattern will reinforce itself once again right into next week. Winds are out of the northwest at 7. Pollen count still very low. 81 in the city, 80 in Cleveland. It's 83 in Dalton, and 82 up in Athens, while Murphy's at about 74 degrees. Our high today was 83. That broke the record set back in 1974 when we hit 82 with 57, the overnight low, and we're almost 18 inches below normal in rain. Now, we're not going to be breaking any more records for a while, at least as far as the temperatures go. 83 in Dalton, 83 in Calhoun, and 83 in Trenton today, while Scottsboro, Lafayette, and Chatsworth all at 82, and then we had about 82 in Soddy Daisy. Dunlap was 81, 71 though in Mowbray Mountain, while it was 80 out near East Ridge, 81 in Ooltewah to Cleveland, and then 83 in Delano, 83 in Ringgold, and 81 Etowah, to 83 up in Athens and Dayton, while it was 83 also into Pikeville, but only 74 in Colmont today, with 72 in Turtletown and 77 near Murphy. Jasper got to about 81 degrees for that high temperature. Latest forecast again is showing just a sprinkle or two tonight. By tomorrow morning, a little bit of cloudiness, but it leaves fast. Sun comes back for tomorrow afternoon. A very nice day. The only bad thing about tomorrow, the winds are going to be fairly strong and out of the north. That'll be refreshing, but it's going to blow those fires all over the place. So the firefighters are going to have a big problem for tomorrow. Saturday at 5 o'clock tomorrow night, really not much happening. Clear skies right into Sunday morning, and then into Sunday afternoon. More sunshine once again. Looks like another beautiful day. Coming up into Monday morning, there'll be some showers out through Oklahoma and into Texas. Does us no good at all. Pinpoint forecast. Appleton tomorrow, beautiful day at 75, mostly sunny. Resaca, you'll hit about 76 down into Gordon County. Tonight, 57 with some more clouds. Slight chance for a sprinkle, mainly in Tennessee. Tomorrow, 76. The winds will be picking up out of the north, 15 to 20, and gusty at times, a little stronger in the higher elevations. And then cool, 46 for tomorrow night with clear skies and a northerly wind. On Saturday, we're looking at 72 with lows in the 40s, and then coming up right into the rest of the weekend and into next week, temperatures pretty much in the 70s until maybe a week from now when it'll be only in the 60s. But no rain in sight of any consequence.
But it was nice to see some cloud cover today, just to let us know that
it shows that it can
Yes,
happen. Yes. And someday it will. I promise you. Someday.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, okay.
More to come on Live at 5:30. Camel.com. I had to read that 3 times silently just to know I was doing the right thing. It is a thing. It's the price comparison mentioned in the piece about Amazon's Black Friday. We'll explain more about this site, tell you how it works and why it is a good place to start before you shop.
At New at 6, a local mom is saying her daughter was denied access to the bathroom. The school is saying it's because of a policy that's been in place for years. We'll hear from both sides at 6.
We may not.
What if your imagination didn't have to wander? What if the sky wasn't the limit and the possibilities were truly endless? What if the future was a blank canvas and your mind a clean slate? What if the next generation of innovative dreamers was raised right here in Gig City? What if is now, why not? Introducing NextNet, 10 gig internet only from EPB Fiber Optics.
See if you can follow this. I'm going to try to follow it too. If you plan to shop online this holiday season, you could wind up saving a lot of money if you get lucky.
Oh, but you don't have to get lucky. I'll tell you why. Amazon prices fluctuate a good bit, but our consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker shows us you don't have to rely on luck to get the best deal. He'll tell us why.
We may not realize just how much prices change at Amazon. Something that's $200 today could be $40 next week. Well, the other day I mentioned a website, Camel. Some of you sent me email wanting to know more about how this website can save you money. When you're shopping on Amazon and find something you like, just highlight the web address. You'll have to copy everything in the address bar at the top of the page. Then head over to camel.com. Paste the address and you'll soon get a price history of that item. We'll try this Philips Wake Up Light, list price $170, on sale right now for $95. Now, when I paste the address on the Camel website, you'll see it actually is Amazon's best price. If you scroll down a little further, you'll see the price history and how it's fluctuated. In June, it was around $120, but later spiked to $160. Meanwhile, this other light therapy lamp is priced at $142.49. If you'd purchased it back on October 7th, it was $109. Well, now you know how low it can go. Camel lets you track the price. Set your desired price, and if the price drops back down to its lowest price, you'll get an update as an email or Twitter message. And the name of the website, camel.com, makes me think of the three wise men in Christmas, and you would be wise if you check out this website before you shop at Amazon. That's What the Tech. Jamie Tucker, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now we're told the Camel website only tracks prices on Amazon, but it works on any product sold by Amazon and its partners.
Uber has revamped its ride-hailing app in an effort to make it simpler to use, smarter, more fun to use too. It's the biggest overhaul to Uber's rider app in 4 years. The biggest change could be the addition of upfront pricing and arrival time predictions pegged to each level of Uber service. The new app also seeks to mine personal information stored on smartphones that could raise privacy concerns, but it's up to individual users to let Uber peep into their calendars and address books. The new design features just started rolling out yesterday, but could be a couple of weeks before all of us get the update.
It's only early November, but this year's hot holiday toy may have just hatched. Hatchanimals have sold out online at Walmart, Toys R Us, Amazon, and most Target stores, and even made their way onto eBay at marked up prices. Hatchimals, let me say this right, Hatchimals are interactive toys that hatch from a plastic egg. Kids have to nurture the egg to begin the hatching process, and once the egg hatches, they can teach the toy to walk and talk. Spin Master released Hatchimals in early October, so they're already catching on.
Just me, or they look a little creepy?
Yeah, they
I
do.
think that thing's sitting at night across the bedroom from you there, those eyes.
Right. It reminds me of some other things they had to nurture and that drove parents crazy a few years ago. Can't think of the name. They were creepy too. Anyway, still to come live at 5:30. World Series souvenirs are flying off the shelves in Chicago.
And speaking of maybe a little creepy, a New Mexico man has developed a way to memorialize deceased loved ones.
What the Tech is brought to you by
Gig City's only local provider of the fastest internet and sharpest HD TV, EPB Fiber Optics.
Oh, death is a subject a lot of folks don't want to talk about, but many want to feel close to their loved ones, even after they're gone.
A New Mexico man is fulfilling those wishes, turning human ashes into kitchenware. This began as an art project. It was made to infuse a sense of mortality in everyday moments of life, he says. Chronicle Cremation Designs is the name of the company. Justin Crow is the person who collected human bones and created a ceramic glaze and used it on dinnerware.
So we have a bowl that sits on a table, and so during family dinners it can spark conversations. We have coffee mugs that you can use interactive every day, and it's a very intimate way to be with that person's memories who you've lost.
And since he began, people have started asking Crow to turn their remains into kitchenware that can actually be used. If this idea has piqued your interest, there's a link to his company on our website, WRCBTV.com.
Okay. Don't know what to say about that.
Nope.
No.
Interesting video.
Yes, very.
World Series championship souvenirs are rolling off the assembly line. Here's something we could talk about.
Already. Today in Kentucky, it was all red, white, and blue. New bats were being painted and produced at Louisville Slugger. The company makes the official bat of Major League Baseball.
Before the Cubs even won the World Series last night, there were lines outside of sporting goods stores in Chicago. Dick's Sporting Goods stores across the area opened as early as 6 in the morning. Hot ticket items included locker room hats, there's one, sold out in minutes, along with many sizes of the locker room t-shirts. Fans lined up outside before it was open. Once inside, well, it was downright festive atmosphere.
I was driving by and I was like, they're open, so I parked my car and here I am. I'm excited. I'm excited for the city as well.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. It was a nerve-wracking game last night. I couldn't take it by the time it went to rain delay. I couldn't even breathe myself down anymore. It was crazy.
It was. I wonder how many shirts had to be destroyed that had the wrong champion.
There was
Do they do that?
an article that was linked on Facebook somewhere of all the shirts and caps that were meant to be for Cleveland, just in case, and you wonder where they'll end up. If you'll see one in 10 years ago, I don't think that's quite right.
That's true. No. Well, now we switch over to David Carroll.
I think this time next year, the Braves merchandise will be flying off the shelves.
Hopeful, aren't you?
I can dream.
Yes.
Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
We never know which direction it's going to go, so we are preparing for it.
The Forestry Division says the fires in the Channel 3 viewing area may continue to get worse with a shift in the wind pattern. We'll take a look at how many are still burning in our area. Police found the man accused of strangling a woman to death inside a Chattanooga hotel room, how officers were able to gather enough evidence to indict a suspect. Plus,
he said yes. He said yes out in front of the grocery store at the Village Market.
find out how that yes outside the Village Market turned into a big budget movie in theaters now. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 is next.